It's been a couple months since I've seen Hamish, and if you're new here, he's my husband. We got married this summer, and then a month after, he flew to Greece. Hamish is a professional volleyball player, and I think he's probably gonna be living in Greece until May, because that's where the team he's on is at. And it's October, and I haven't seen him in a few months, and so I booked a flight, and I'm gonna go see him, and I'm gonna stay there for as long as I can possibly stay legally. So I think that's about 3 months, because in a 180-day period, I get 90 days in and 90 days out. But the flight route that I'm taking is not one that I'm new to. I'm gonna fly from Calgary to Frankfurt, and then Frankfurt to Thessaloniki, which is where Hamish is. And at this point, I would consider myself a pro at airline travel. I'm gonna take you from Calgary to Greece to show you everything that I do, everything that I have, everything that goes into being so comfortable on this journey and that makes it actually fly by and be super comfortable. There are so many little airline hacks and tips and tricks and things you can bring along with you that are so helpful to just be so comfy, because I'm a comfort person. I always want to be maximum comfort, and I've mastered it. I really have. Not to toot my own horn, but I feel really good at this, so let's go. Before I get to the airport, I did one of my first favorite hacks is as soon as check-in opened, I went and reserved my seat. Certain airlines, like Discover Airlines, the one that I'm flying with, let you select your seat when you check in, and so what I did is as soon as it opened, I went in and I selected my seat. Now there was an exit row open. Every single time basically that I've flown with Discover, I have been lucky enough to get an exit row. This is the type of exit row where I'm at the front row of seats. So I have unlimited leg room. That's one of my favorite seats to have while on a long haul flight. This flight is gonna be 10 hours, the first one. And I got an exit row for the flight after that as well. It's just a short little jaunt from Frankfurt to Thessaloniki. So let's adventure. Before I leave, I thought I would show you the fit. These jeans are from Princess Polly, and usually I would never say wear jeans on an airplane, but these ones are an exception. They are so soft and comfy. They're basically sweatpants. My hoodie is from Mr. Winston, and underneath it I just have a little crop top. I have my headphones that I'm wearing because I don't have room to pack them, and I'm just gonna be wearing my Adidas Sambas. And then underneath, you see this is not actually my skin. These are compression socks, because one time I was flying and I woke up from sleep and just like fainted, and it was the scariest thing of my entire life. And so I'm determined to never faint on a plane again. That was like probably one of my #1 scariest travel experiences. I was traveling solo, and so I think that compression socks help with the blood flow a little bit. I don't know if they actually do that much work, but I feel good when I wear them, and I've been told that they have benefits. So that's the fit that I am wearing. I've got my Uniqlo bag, and then I've got my carry-ons that I'm gonna be grabbing in a bit. I just do not want to wear them right now because they're so heavy. Also, I've got a scrunchie, not a claw clip, because scrunchies are a lot comfier to wear than claw clips. When you're wearing a claw clip, it'll push against the back of a chair. So that's also just a little tip. All right, we've made it through our first round of security, and now I am just gonna be waiting for the flight. So the first thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna head to the airport lounge, because that is one of the best things I can recommend if you do frequent air travel. I have a priority pass through my Amex credit card, and it's the best. You get food, you get refreshments, it's quiet, better Wi-Fi. I'm gonna take you there. Here we have all of the food options. I really like this lounge because they cater really well to gluten-free needs, and so I can get gluten-free vegan meatballs. They've got like these different dishes that I can special order, and that's what I usually do when I'm here, because they do have lots of stuff that does contain gluten. But if I also am feeling snacky, they've got really well labeled things just at the front that you can grab. Got a broccoli cheddar soup. I've been to this lounge lots of times before, and so I know that this is a safe option for me. I've also chatted with the staff who makes the food, and so I know that I can have this. Traveling gluten-free can always be a little bit challenging, but one way that I make sure that I'm always comfortable when I'm flying is I try to eat whenever I can, and I know it's a safe option, and so that's usually at the airport lounges. But I also bring snacks with me, because even though I've requested a gluten-free meal for the plane and we're gonna see if I get it, I don't always get it. Very often they'll forget it, or they just won't have an option for me, or I'll get it and I realize it does have gluten, which has happened before. And so other snacks that I usually bring with me are protein bars and fruit gummies. So the protein bars that I packed for this trip are my favorites, the pure protein, the mint chocolate ones, because they taste like Girl Scout cookies. Then I've also got a churro flavored one, and I also packed a cosmic brownie flavored one, but that's my least favorite of the 3. And then I've also got Welch's fruit gummies, and I hope to have a whole bunch of packs of these, but last night I was out watching the Northern Lights, and Miles found them on the counter, and he helped himself to a couple of them, so I only have one. quite busy in the lounge today. It depends on the time of the day that you go on how busy it is, but today it is very busy. I got a spot right away though because some people were on the way out. But I'm going to show you some other things about my outfit that make it really comfy, and then I'm going to start diving into some of the things that I keep on me and why I always travel with them. So for shoes, I'm wearing these Sambas. One, because it's always better to wear your biggest pair of shoes, and for me that is these, even though they're nice and sleek. But two, I always recommend wearing shoes that have lots of wiggle room, because one time I was traveling in these genuine leather loafers and they were very tight and my feet swelled up on the plane and I got the worst blisters of my entire life. It was horrible, and so I always recommend traveling in comfortable shoes.
Okay,
We're currently boarding. Found my seat. Alright, I just got my seat. I'm in an exit row. I'm going to show you some of the essentials that I grabbed, because when you're in the exit row, you can't have your bag in front of you, so you have to kind of pick and choose what you can keep on your lap, because you can't keep a lot and you don't have a seat in front of you to store things under. So this is what I'm keeping with me. The very first thing I have, this is a travel pillow slash blanket. It unfolds into a great big blanket, but it is from Gravel and it is so handy at keeping you warm. Plus there's snaps that you can put onto your bag, or you can clip it around your neck. It's the handiest little thing to have. Second thing for comfort that I grabbed is my neck pillow here. This is a wraparound style one, and I really like it because it's very supportive and very soft, and it doesn't make some sound. Some of the ones I've had have had beads inside of them and they make a weird sound when you're leaning on them, but this is a memory foam, so it's very comfortable. Two options for headphones here. This is my regular ones that I wear. They're great for sound canceling. These are the Sony WH-1000 XM4s and I absolutely love them, but sometimes when you're sleeping they're not the most comfortable, which is why I also have these Dormy headphones. These you can wear like a headband and they are super comfortable, and the sound quality is still pretty good considering they aren't sound canceling. This car mask charger is my current obsession. It charges my phone over like 3 times and I always keep it on me. Plus it's got all of the cables built into it, so I don't have to have loose cables hanging around or getting mixed with anybody else's. And even though I'm wearing a sweater, sometimes you can still get cold on a long flight, so that's why I've got a blanket. In the past, when I've been in the seat, they've made me take away my bag, and I can't even have one that's just like a crossbody strap bag, so I put it under my hoodie and hopefully they won't comment on it. In the bag I also have some toiletries and other things that I'm probably going to need throughout the flight, and I'm going to grab more stuff probably as the flight goes on from above, but I'll share those with you in a bit. Just been delivered my gluten-free meal and they brought it to me before everybody else's meal, which is always reassuring. So let's go through and see what I got. I absolutely love that every single item is individually labeled, because that makes a huge difference to me, and that has been an issue for me in the past. But let's check out what I've got in here. Okay, my meal was actually pretty decent, but I'm looking out the window right now and it's really hard to see because it's bright in the plane, but the northern lights are starting to happen, so I'm going to try to capture them to show you guys. So I just took an iPhone photo and this is what it's looking like on my phone right now outside of the plane, but it's really bright in the plane and so it's really hard to get a photo on my actual camera. But take a look, there's the northern lights and there's even some red in them, which is pretty exciting. While I'm waiting for the lights to dim, I thought I'd show you some of the other liquids and things that I brought onto the plane with me. This is my reusable silicone liquid bag, and I highly recommend getting one of these if you travel frequently. Inside of it, I've got scrunchies, this Tower 28 spray that I actually refilled with hypochlorous acid. It's a skin-safe disinfectant, and I spray it periodically throughout the flight on my face. A mini coconut native deodorant, a contact lens case in case it gets dry, a lip balm, a mini toothpaste, these mini glass dropper bottles I've filled with skincare products, lotion, these mini spray bottles, one is filled with glycolic acid and the other is also hypochlorous acid, and a silk eye mask. Okay, it's finally getting darker on the plane, so I'm able to grab some photos with my camera, and these are insane. This is some of the craziest northern lights I've ever seen from an airplane. And now it's time for a breakfast meal. Everybody around me is getting these hot breakfasts, but I got a gluten-free muffin, and this is why I'm glad I brought my protein bars. Okay, I've touched down in Germany and we have made it through the hardest flight, which is the longest one, and now we just have a short little one that's like 2.5 hours left until I see Hamish, and so I've got to go through security again and then I'm gonna be set. Good news, border security went really well, no problems. I am now waiting at my gate. It's currently 11:10 and my flight isn't until 1:50, and usually at this time I would go and use airport lounge access, but I don't think that there's a lounge in this area of the airport. Like, I think I would have to leave security and redo all of that again. So I think I'm just gonna stick it out, but I am so close to being there. I'm a little bit hungry, so I think I'm just gonna eat another protein bar and maybe my fruit gummies. And while I'm chatting to you guys, I thought I would show you one more thing that I realized that I had packed or like prepared for this flight. And yes, I'm wearing jeans, but this little button right here is actually removable. You can take the button off and move it to wherever you want. This is what the button looks like. It's like a pin that just goes through the pants, and you just clip it on, and then you can button up your pants wherever you want them done up. I think I'm gonna do it right here, make them nice and tight. As you can see, I crossed it over so that my jeans are a little bit tighter, but it's super nice to have a removable button, because if you are somebody like me who bloats really bad on a plane, or even during travel, you find that you gain and lose weight really fast, it's just really handy to be super comfortable, especially on a plane ride where you can just loosen your pants and they're still gonna be buttoned up. Also notice I'm wearing real underwear. I know you might find it weird me talking about what underwear you should wear on a flight, but I do not recommend wearing a thong or anything that is low coverage, because you're gonna be sitting in that for a very long time and it's very uncomfortable. Trust me, wear proper underwear. Okay, I've made it to Thessaloniki. I fell asleep on the flight before it even took off, and I fell asleep right as we were coming down and landing, and so I was completely out that entire flight. But I'm here, and now I'm just waiting for my bags, and then we're gonna go and head to Hamish's place. He's at practice right now, so I'm not gonna be able to see him right away, but he'll be coming home in like a couple hours, so I have time to freshen up. Got them all. We're ready to go. We did it, we made it. This is Hamish's apartment. It is nothing special. It is actually horrible. Hopefully we'll be moving apartments soon. He's obviously not here yet, but that was what I do when I travel. I hope you guys enjoyed and got a little bit of a peek into my life and what it looks like and what I like to pack. And there are some things that I realized I didn't bring on this trip that sometimes I've brought on previous ones that I wish I had on this one, so I might do a whole nother video on that. But if you want that, let me know. And thank you for watching. If you enjoyed watching today, give it a, I guess you don't do 5 stars on YouTube. I'm used to podcasts. Give it a thumbs up, hit the subscribe. I'm almost at 75 subscribers, which is really exciting to me. And I'm just grateful for all of you guys coming along on my adventures. So I hope you guys have the best day ever.